everybody, welcome back to GWN. I am Noctaire, your host. It's the most wonderful time of the year. That's right, it is the winter update sneak peek time. Supercell has unofficially kicked off the sneak peek season with this image that they posted just the other day to their Twitter feed and to Facebook. Now, as you can see, the image shows someone playing their Clash of Clans, but if you zoom in, you will see that it isn't just any game of Clash of Clans, but rather one that has partially been upgraded to Town Hall 13. Now, this is pretty darn cool. It's our first look at what the art geeks over at Supercell have put together for a new Town Hall design. As always, this could be different by the time it formally releases. I mean, even the stuff that comes out of Supercell isn't always necessarily like dead on what is in the final release, but it's still pretty cool looking. I like the artwork, the new tones and tints and so forth. I think it's really nice. Now, there's more to this picture though than meets the eye. If you look closely, you'll see that there are new hero levels and that the army camps are no longer 5x5. Check this out. So, I realize in this image it's kind of blurry the way I've zoomed it, but if you zoom into it in your favorite photo editor, maybe even sharpen the image up a little bit, you'll see the numbers 7-0 above the Archer Queen and kind of above the Barbarian King, as well as 5-0 above the Grand Warden. So again, you never know what the final version is going to be, but it's looking like level 70 for the Archer Queen and Barbarian King and level 50 for the Grand Warden. Could go higher, but that's kind of in keeping with what we normally get when they do these kinds of upgrades. Now, the next thing that you'll notice too, take a look at those army camps. There's a statue in between two of the army camps, and the statues are 2x2, and this is exactly up to the middle of the army camp. That means that the army camps are now 4x4, so they've shrunk them down from being 5x5. Now, I think that's pretty telling. That's a big deal, because we all know that the game grid is really too small to add anything new. So if they wanted to add something new, they would have to reduce the size of some of the structures to give more space. So I don't know, maybe we're getting something new added into the inventory. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. As always, that final version could have something, it might not have something, but this is pretty telling, and I think that's kind of exciting. And we also know that the new month is going to bring us a new season pass, and for that we get a new hero skin. December is the Jolly King for the Barbarian King, and here I'll toss up an image of that. This is what he looks like. He's not too bad. I really was kind of hoping for a Grand Warden Santa kind of thing. But, well, we'll see. Maybe next year. After that, the big questions that's on everybody's mind, and we'll run these replays in the background here, a couple of Legend 3 stars that I got. The really big question at this point, what are we going to get, and when is it going to release? Now, every Town Hall upgrade we've ever gotten, we typically can expect a new troop, one or more new buildings, especially if they're shrinking the profile of existing structures, as we've seen. New levels for most of the existing troops, new levels for most of the existing buildings, and most likely 50 to 100 walls ready to bump up to level 14. Now, they don't release all the walls at once because, let's face it, the walls are pretty tough to upgrade, so they're going to take a little bit of time with that. And they don't release the updates to all the defenses and all the troops and so forth at once either, because, again, they want to keep things for us to do over the course of next year, but also because they want to kind of, kind of get a feel for how things are going to play out in the new environment, what the new meta is going to be like, what's going to take off and so forth. So we'll have to wait and see what all we actually get. I think some of the main troops that are more commonly used will be the ones that are going to be upgraded, and there's already going to be some leaks about this, I'm sure. Some of the other YouTubers work on the dev build, and eventually I'll have some dev build videos also. But that's what I think is going to happen with the troops. Now, there's a lot of us that have been debating what this update could mean for the Giga Tesla. I mean, is it going to be made stronger vis-a-vis another 5 new levels? Will it be replaced with something different altogether? I don't know. As it is, it's already a pretty strong defense, so the idea of an even stronger version of that kind of gives me pause. I mean, I'm wondering, wow, what could we end up dealing with in there in this next level, especially with stronger troops. I mean, I know how strong some of the troops like the Electro Dragon are when they go up against that, but it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with that Giga Tesla. And then, of course, we got to wonder, are we going to get any kind of new defenses in addition to what's already there? Are we going to get any new army camps? Are they going to increase the army camps? They had a level onto the army camps so that we can have, say, another 20 troop counts. And really, what about the clan castle? Is it going to get a new level? And if so, does that mean a higher troop count or something else? I don't know, more potions or I don't know, something else. The forums have been absolutely rampant with speculation about the potential of a new hero as well. We get the Barbarian King at Town Hall 7, then the Archer Queen at Town Hall 9, and finally the Grand Warden at Town Hall 11. That's 2 levels between the addition of each of those heroes. So Town Hall 13 is kind of ripe for a new hero. And I think this thread's been going on for several days, maybe even a week or two over on the forums. So, I mean, a lot of people have been talking about what could it be? What would it do? What would it look like? Everybody's been, wanting that Goblin King for years that we still don't have. Maybe that would be it. I don't know. But if we do get a new hero, does that mean that all 4 of them will be playable at the same time? Or would we have to choose a certain number of them like we do with Boom Beach, where you can only have 1 hero that goes with your army? I mean, maybe it'd be 2 or 3 with Clash. Something I don't know. But lots of questions about how that would be and what would it be used to upgrade. Would it be Dark Elixir? Would it be regular Elixir like the Grand Warden was? Or would we maybe even see our first gold-based hero? That would be nice. Something else to use our gold on. I mean, there's so many possibilities that it's hard to tell what may or may not be in there. We've been waiting on the new dev build to play around with, and that's going to be the real clincher. True, even then, there's no telling what will make it into the final cut. Supercell has been known to release things to content creators that don't make it into the final production release. That's just the way that it goes. And they've even tripped up some of the big leak machines over the years, those guys that are leaking things out that really shouldn't be. Next big question to this, of course, is when is it going to drop? Supercell likes to release updates around the middle of the month, and I suspect this will be no different, especially since it's a big update. They haven't started any of the regular sneak peeks yet, so next week is clearly out of the question. The last week of December begins the winter holidays. I mean, Christmas is actually in that last week, and then New Year's, a few days later. So I definitely don't think the last week of the month is going to have it. So that puts us squarely in the middle, the 9th and the 16th, those 2 weeks. And since they usually release towards the beginning of the week again, so they got time for any quick fixes, that might be needed, I'm thinking that we're probably looking at 9th, 10th, or 16th, 17th. Could stretch out to the next Wednesday, maybe, like the 11th or the 18th, but they really like to do things kind of towards the beginning of the week, so they got that couple of days in case something goes awry, which we've seen sometimes happens. That kind of means that the timing's a bit of a bummer, though, for anything that happened in November. You're definitely going to want to clear your Season Pass items before the end of the day on Saturday. Get your Clan Game rewards this weekend as well, since they'll expire before any release will come down. However, I would be kind of holding off on spending any medals from November CWL season, and we should get one more season of CWL done before the update drops, so you'll want to hold on to those medals as well. And remember, you got a week cooldown on magic hammers, so I would suggest getting in there and buying any hammers that you intend to use now, so you can buy a second one when the update drops. Okay, and if you think about that, let's say that you go and you buy one now on the 28th, 29th, 30th, whatever, then you've got a whole week, which puts you into the middle of the first week of December before you can buy another one. And you can only hold one, true, but you can only get the one hammer of building, for example. That way, if it does drop in the second week, you'll be able to use the one you've got and then buy another one right away with your CWL medals from that first week of December's CWL. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, books, runes, things like that, anything that you can get out of, say, clan games or whatever, definitely get them. They can't stack if they come out of an event or out of clan games. But if you're not spend averse, then any that you buy with real money will stack. So like they've got the Black Friday deals going on right now, as well as I had some other deals that were up. I'll have to see if I can find a picture of them and toss them up on the screen. if you're okay with spending a little bit of money, now would be the time to buy these books and try to stack as many of them as you can in preparation for the new update to release. If you think about it, this update's going to take a long time to update things because the things that are in Town Hall 12 take a pretty good amount of time. I mean, we're looking at literally a couple of weeks to get things done, like say a Town Hall or some of the other big upgrades. And I don't know what they're going to do with the hero upgrade times, but they're already pretty long as it is. Hopefully they'll keep them the same. We don't want to go too much longer. But you want to have those books so that you can knock out some of these upgrades right away, as well as the hammers, and not have to wait too long to be able to dig in and start using your resources for something good. For those of you that play the builder base, make sure that you've got that second builder. You want to have your auto there so that you can use it. That way you'll have 6 builders on the home village that you can use all at one time. Now this big 50% off deal that's going on right now that covers buildings and walls on the home village, I've been using that like a madman on all my alts. My main game is finished, obviously, but my alts definitely upgrading things like crazy. If you're near maxing, I'd say, try to knock out some of those walls because they're so expensive. I'm usually getting things like Expos, Inferno Towers, things like that. That's kind of the focus on where I've been as I'm getting ready for this upgrade to drop, this Town Hall 13 to drop. So this week I'll have the official sneak peeks, which will include the formal reveals on any new levels, buildings, balancing, QLL updates, any other changes that they're going to give us. We should also be hearing about the new commemorative holiday obstacle, as well as the holiday troop or troops, whatever it'll be that we're going to have. Be sure to stay tuned and pop back through for sneak peek news as it comes available. Thanks a lot for sticking around to the end of the video. Comments, likes down below. Feel free to ask any questions. I always respond to comments. Y'all take care and keep on clashing. Bye now.